Hey guys, guess where I am? Yep, back in the kitchen. I'm going to play in the kitchen today. I'm going to do an experiment that I've been wanting to do. And kind of one of those things that kind of irritates me. You've heard me say before, read the labels. And I'm mostly upset with myself for not knowing this, but I didn't know that that nacho cheese sauce wasn't real cheese. And honest to goodness, I didn't know American cheese wasn't really cheese. You know, I remember Kraft American cheese said contains 1 cup of milk in each slice, so I just assumed. I never read labels. And I haven't read the labels. Well, yes, I have. I have read the labels, and it's just oil and flavoring and blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, what I'm going to experiment with, I'd never heard of it, but it's, I think it's called like a vegan cheese sauce. And I got this recipe from Bev over at Our Half Acre Homestead. And I'll try to remember to put a link down in the description. I really like her channel. They're just a real down-to-earth couple. They've worked very, very hard for everything they have. And she shares her experiences. And anyway, this recipe, and she tweaked it, but this is something you're going to have in your home all the time. So, almost all of it. The only thing I had to special order was nutritional yeast. Never even heard of this stuff. Didn't know what it was. But all that's in it is potatoes, carrots, lemon juice, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, mustard powder, and smoked paprika. So I'm going to be cutting up my potatoes and carrots. It takes 1½ to 2 cups of potatoes and 1/2 to 3/4 cup of carrots. So I'm going to get those cut up and start simmering in the pan over here, and then I'll come back and we'll just kind of experiment together. The reason that Bev did this recipe the way she did with, you know, I never knew about all this either, but it has no nuts, no oil, no, of course, no dairy, and, well, you'll watch her video to find out for sure. But I want to try to dehydrate it and make it into cheese powder as well, and that is what she did. So let's play. Let's play in the kitchen. Lots of fun stuff you can do. We can call it a science experiment. Okay, guys, I've got the potatoes and carrots in here. It is my understanding that the carrots are what you put in to give it that yellow flavor like cheese. I've got 1/3 cup of the nutritional yeast. And I don't know what it smells like, but I think it stinks. And then here's my onion powder. And 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. My garlic powder. 1/2 teaspoon of that. A 1/2 teaspoon of, better double check, yeah. 1/2 teaspoon of mustard powder. And 1/8 cup or 2 tablespoons, because remember we talked about the need for math in everyday life, including cooking. If you do the math, there's 16 tablespoons in a cup, and we need 1/8. Can you guys figure that out? The answer is 2 tablespoons. And then, oh, I forgot the salt. And a teaspoon of salt. And then 1/8 or a pinch, oh no, I've got it here, of smoked paprika. And I love smoked paprika. Again, I buy my spices. I don't remember how small they'll let me buy it, but I use a lot of smoked paprika. So I bought 4 ounces of it. Just in case you're wondering where I get it, it was $5.50 for 4 ounces. And like my yellow mustard, I got 1 ounce for 50 cents. I don't know how much they cost in the store anymore because I haven't bought them there for years. Anyway, now I'm going to run this in my my Ninja. I don't have a blender, but according to Bev, you pulse it. Until it's smooth. You don't need to sit and listen to that. So I'll be back. All right, guys. I let it blend and blend and blend until it was creamy. And I did have to add water. And I forgot to mention, you're supposed to save some of your potato water, or any kind of boiling water would be fine. So, it's not bad. It's not something I'd want every day, but if you can't eat dairy, it would probably be pretty good. Just as you'll see, if you choose to go watch our half-acre homestead, the reason she did it was, experimented with it, was to make some powdered cheese. And so that's my plan as well. I've also got some onion. I need to dehydrate some onions, so it'll be perfect to chop up a couple onions and put in there. I'm out of my dehydrated onions. Okay, let's see where we go from here. Okay, guys. I've got 2 trays of the cheese sauce. And Bev recommended that if you were going to spread it, because you want to spread it very, very thin. And I found that with just about any liquidy type stuff that I dehydrate. If you do it thin, it's going to dry a little bit better. And then it also will grind up better into a powder. But she recommended that you make it just add some more water and make it a thinner consistency. So I did do that, and it was still pretty thick. But what I'm going to do is get my dehydrator plugged in and running. I want to get the cheese started. And I'm going to chop up just a couple of trays of onions. I'll show you those when I'm done. You don't need to watch me chop onions. You never know, I might chop a finger off. But I've got it at 135, and I have no idea how long it's going to take. So we'll just see. Okay, I got my onions chopped up. I'm going to put those in. And what I did here, I really want like onion flakes. So, I don't know. This is another one of my kitchen experiments. If it doesn't turn out, I'll just grind it for powder. But these are, I ran through my chopper. And these are about 1/4 inch. And then I did a tray of about 1/2 inch. This is the size I normally do. So, my house is going to smell really, really good in a little bit. And it made me wonder, will I have onion flavored cheese sauce? Oh well. Anyway, if you get a chance, go over and check out our half-acre homestead. Bev and Howie are 2 of the nicest people, down to earth, hard working, and they have worked for everything they have, and they've built up. They've raised an awful lot of stuff on that little half-acre. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Okay guys, it's the next morning, and here's the cheese sauce that I dried. And my trays curl up. I don't know what that's all about. Probably the cheese sauce shrinking. I think it's done, so I'm going to try to do the powder. I'll let you know how that turns out. Here's my onions. They're not done yet. They're still pretty pliable. You can tell when they're done because they'll basically just kind of break up or crumble. But you want to make sure they're good and dry. Okay guys, I've got one of the trays ground into a fine powder. and I do it just like I do everything else. This works best for me. I turn the sheet over and just kind of peel it off. It comes off a lot easier. I'll finish doing it after bed, but what I do, and you've seen me do it, I just break it up, put it in my little coffee grinder, and grind away until I have powder. Okay guys, I got that, we'll call it vegan cheese, powder done, and those 2 trays made this much in a little baby food jar. Now remember, this is just an experiment, and I saved some of it from the dehydrator last night and made cheesy scalloped potatoes and ham, and it wasn't bad. And this just might be just the thing to take along when you're traveling if you want to make like some kind of a casserole or some kind of a dish that you want to add some cheese to, and you don't have the refrigeration, you know, whatever. But I don't know, we'll see. If we like it, I'll make more, but I don't see myself doing that. It's just not something that we'll use. So anyway, thanks for coming along, and now I'm on to my next project.